Yo, what's up, bro? My name is Sam Walford. I'm a 17-year-old dropout coach from Coventry in the United Kingdom. And of course, as you can see here, this is obviously my little school about page. There's plenty of proof here. But I help young men, probably quite like you, to start high-ticket coaching, self-improvement coaching in specific on school. And yeah, proof here. Here's me doing some cool shit traveling. Here's some more wins. Here's me doing more cool shit. Here's some more wins. And here's some more proof here, helping 15 coaches to make $3,700 average in 2 months, and doing over 50K in client results in the past 60 days. Here's just, a little bit more credibility so you know you can trust me. But what I want to get to today is the first weekly coaching tip, and that's to not sell publicly until you pass the hype threshold. Now, your school community is probably pretty small and pretty dead. Like Victor's community, for example, sorry to shit on you, Victor, but you can see here, community is not active at all. Like, I don't even know what I've done in this community, and I'm on the all-time leaderboard. Okay, this is a small dead community. Here is another example of a small dead community. This is Lauret's community, 150 members. So it's not too small, but you can see here, there's 8 people in the last 7 days have contributed. Like, it's dead. Okay, and what happens when you try and launch publicly and sell publicly in a dead community? Well, it kind of acts as like negative social proof because you make a little launch post, and then nobody replies to it, okay? Or it's like, in the classroom, book a call with me through the classroom or whatever, but then there's not enough people in the community to go through that and then book a call with you. And so not only do you not make any money, but it also acts as sort of negative social proof because if you make a post selling, okay, 2 people have liked it and no one's commented on it, okay, that is negative social proof. Other people see that you are failing, okay, that no one's interacting with your shit. They're like, oh, okay, and they don't actually think this is like subconscious. They're like, okay, no one else is interacting with his shit. His shit must be literally shit. Okay. However, if your school community is pretty active and you're past what I call the hype threshold, which is, of course, a scientific term, by you selling publicly, what it does is it starts a chain reaction of people interacting, and as more people interact, it then causes other people to interact, and so on, and it sort of starts that chain reaction, the exponential hype, which is also another little scientific term there. And it adds a fuck ton of social proof because if you start this chain reaction of interactions, people see other people interacting, they want to interact more, they want to be part of the party. No one likes a fucking dead party. Then making it much easier to sell because that adds, a ton of social proof of people interacting. But the thing is, you just need to make sure that you're past this imaginary hype threshold to basically start the exponential hype chain reaction. And for context, my community here is roughly at the hype threshold. You can see sort of how active it is. You can obviously see I'm launching my paid program here. So, what do you do if you're not at the hype threshold, which 99% chance based on who watches this channel and you aren't? Well, the very first thing is you want to sell in private. Look at Victor here. Victor is also in the $1,000 Fastly, my paid program. From these 29 members, he's already made $1,000. How? Well, he's just gone and DM the members, book sales calls with them through DMs, selling in private. That's the important part, selling in private through DMs. And that way he can still make money from a small and dead community. Or Lauritz, for example, who has made $3,000 from these members. Again, just by sending DMs to the people that join and then selling coaching. That is the best way to sell if you're a small community. Trying to sell publicly is only a privilege you get, okay, if you've already got a big community. Even Evan, for example, 230 members, but it used to be pretty active. Even when it was this
It's
active,
22 hours.
fuck off. Even when it was this active, um, he still wouldn't. It still wouldn't be worth him selling in public. I'm sort of just past the hype threshold. And so basically, you get people on calls, okay, through the DMs, and then when you hop on those calls, you then get those guys you hop on calls with to make introduction posts, therefore making the community more active, and you can sort of kindle this fire of your community, literally like a fire, until it eventually passes the hype threshold and grows independently, like a fire. When you grow the fire past the point where it's going to keep going by itself without having to fucking constantly be next to it, tending to it. However, side point, if you do get to the point where you can sell in publicly, it makes things a lot easier. For example, here I've made this launch post for my program here, which if you're interested in, obviously join the community, have a look at it. But so I've been able to get a VSL up here. I've been able to, and this is pretty crazy proof here. If you're interested, bro. But this makes it a lot easier for me because then people come here, they click book a call, they book a sales call with me because they're coming to me. They're already warmed up by all of this. It's so much easier to sell, and they just kind of like melt into you, and it's just so fucking easy to close them. Whereas when you're sending the DMs, it's a lot harder to close them. You don't get this privilege of selling in public until you've already done the work of selling in private first. That is just a natural scalability of it. You've got to start with a manual, menial, hard shit first before you can get good at your niche, build up a big community where you can sell in public. So that is the tip there. If you want to join the $1,000 protocol, then of course the link in the description is for that. If you're interested in the $1,000 fast lane because you've seen our fucking crazy proof, there's iJazz making 2K in like the last 2 days, by the way. That isn't even included in this. I haven't updated any of this shit yet. But if you want some, want to be these fucking crazy members doing crazy proof, then yeah, apply now.